Black Americans finally came out with the answer that a lot of white people have literally been waiting for. And honestly, I want you guys to watch and let me know if all of these answers are not correct. You know, over time, these white, let me say, some of these white folks have literally tagged it that the only people that want to pop nose in their business, the only people that want to meddle, the only people that have opinion over them every single time are Black Americans, that Black Americans are literally forming the victim end. But anyways, I have a video, maybe probably when we are done watching, we are actually going to know who is actually pop nosing, who is actually staying in one place, and every other thing that I want you guys to watch. So this video is very important, especially as a Black person. If you're a Black person, you need to watch. If you're a white person, I say you need to watch and also drop your honest opinion, because that is the only thing we do here. First, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share, and credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And with that being said, let's dive right into this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
All right, white folk, if you've ever wondered what Black people feel about you, today's February 25th Black History teaching is titled, What Many Black Americans Feel About White Americans and Why, okay? Let's talk, because I'm tired of all these fake conversations. You know, people always want to ask, why do Black people seem distant or cautious or skeptical towards white people? They usually, when you all ask that as white people, you're usually expecting some type of emotional answer. But the response is not emotional, y'all. It's historical. It's based on history. It's sociological. And it's a pattern. See, for first thing, Black people are not a monolith. We're not all the same. Some Blacks are married to white spouses, right? Some of us have white best friends. Some of us work in white dominated spaces every day and thrive. But there is still something that exists underneath of that, y'all, and it's called collective memory. You hear that, white folk? Collective memory. Let's talk about sociology. That's why I just love sociology, the study of people and concepts and things, because the sociology of trust. Trust is built through consistent safety over time. Let me repeat that. Trust is built over consistent safety over time. So as a parent, your kid knows, oh, my mom is going to feed me every evening at 5 because you've consistently been feeding Jimmy at 5 for the past 3 years. So you have built up a trust. Your kid knows that based on history of my mother and what she's done for me in the past 3 years, she's consistent with what she's going to do today. Well, that's how it is with Black people and our feelings towards white folk. If a group experiences enslavement, as Black folk did, legal segregation, voter suppression, housing discrimination, medical exploitation over centuries now, over centuries, our actual nervous system, the nervous system of that group, we adapt. So that's not opinion. That's called trauma science, okay? Communities develop protective instincts. It's for the sake of survival, right? And America has a long documented record of racial hierarchy. See, this isn't ancient history. The Civil Rights Act passed in 1964. That's not even one lifetime ago. You understand? So let's talk about data, because some of you all are really stuck on data. Studies from Pew Research consistently show a significant racial trust gap in America. Black Americans report lower levels of trust in institutions, law enforcement, and government compared to white Americans. That distrust didn't appear out of nowhere. It follows experiences, and experiences follow policy. So let's talk about economics and pattern recognition. Let's talk about redlining. Redlining wasn't a rumor. It was federal policy. The GI Bill disproportionately excluded Black veterans. Mass incarceration, police is disproportionately affected Black communities. When you see patterns repeat across generations over and over and over again, you don't call it coincidence. You call it structure. And structure shapes perception, you all. So what do many Black people think? We don't necessarily, not all of us. Some of us do now. But not all of us think hate. Most of us don't think revenge, but caution. Oh, yeah. Many Black Americans operate what I call earned awareness. And what this is it's understanding that individual kindness does not erase systemic patterns. See, so that's why we can come to work and smile in your face with you white folk. And all along, we know from what our mama, our grandmama, our granddaddy, our great-grandparents, and everything, not only what they've told us, but what we've seen and experienced. I can't trust her. White man talk with what? Fourth tongue, right? We can't trust what you say. You can smile in our face. You can do all that you want to do. Take us out for drinks, whatever. But history never lies. So, earned awareness is what we operate in. It's to understand that individual kindness does not erase systemic patterns. You can like the individual white person. I can still like you as a white person and still question white systems. That's nuance. You understand? That's how some interracial couples really make it and survive, because they realize, listen, this white person may not be racist. However, there are systems put in place that are. That nuance makes people uncomfortable, though. So let me speak plainly to you all, okay? If you're white, and you never personally harmed a black person, right? Consciously, that you know of. This conversation is not accusing you, but if you benefit from structures that are historically unequal and you refuse to examine that, that's where tension lies, y'all. See, some black people don't automatically extend full trust because historically, automatic trust was dangerous. It could get you killed. Okay? Trust me. History has shown that many a people trusted many a white person and ended up hung, lynched, killed, sold. Here's the balance. Many black Americans also believe in coalition, in solidarity, and real allyship. But allyship requires some things, you all. If you're an ally to the black people, to us, you have to first listening without being defensive. That's first and foremost. If you can listen without getting defensive, then you have a way to be an ally. Number two, your way to allyship is acknowledging historical harm. Can't act like it didn't happen, y'all. Number three, speaking up when racism shows up. You can't just be silent anymore if you want to be an ally. And number four, understanding that proximity to blackness and black culture is not the same as understanding the black experience. I get sick and tired of some of you white women telling me, but I married a black man and my children are black. And just because you sleep with a black person doesn't make you black, honey. Even through penal injection, you ain't black. So I don't want to hear that. Well, I know what it feels like to be black. I have a black husband. Girl, please. That right there shows you're not ready to be an ally because you don't want to look deep and honestly in yourself and realize that there is a form of white privilege, even in saying that. And that makes me nervous when white mothers talk like that because that tells me they're not willing to do the work to educate their half-black children. So let me close with this. This is not about guilt. It's about awareness. If you want to understand why some black Americans are cautious and why we are, and rightfully so, stop asking, why don't they trust us? And you need to start asking, what happened that made this distrust happen? History answers that question clearly. And healing starts with honesty, not defensiveness. So for the most part, white people, if I had to sum it up really quickly, we as black people, we really don't think about you all at all. When we think of you, the majority of us, it is how to survive and thrive around a race of people who historically never cared about us. How do we survive when the enemy is amongst us? That's how we have to, for our own survival, we have to always keep our head on a swivel. It's just the truth. See, you have the luxury and the complexion for the protection of going to any city. When you travel as black people, we have to make sure, wait a minute, this is a sundown town? They're going to be burning crosses and lynching Negroes in this town after dark? That's why you all white people are so free and trusting and you leave your doors unlocked, because you have the complexion for the protection. But we have to worry. If we leave our door unlocked from great-great-grandmother and them, is somebody going to burn a cross? They're going to come in here and shoot me because I know how to read? Yeah. Our nervous system has been tense like this, and we passed it down to our children in generation to generation. Every day I drop my kids off at school, I say, have a great day, have fun, and keep your head on a swivel. That's what it's like being black in America. Happy Black History Month.
White people are being welcomed to America now. And what I mean by that is white people are being welcomed to the America that many of us have been experiencing for a while now. And that's not even to shame y'all, because at this point, I don't even think that that's helpful. It's more just to give you context to the situation that y'all are in. And I say y'all very specifically because this is a white America homegrown problem. This is like Jim Crow, this is slave patrol, this is a white American issue specifically that we are in right now. And so what is happening is y'all are being asked to stand with yours. That's what this is, right? So white people are being gunned down in the street the same way that they've been gunning down black people for ages. And it is because they are not following the rule book. You're not following the script. Because what's supposed to happen is they're asking you to align with your whiteness. And I'm going to put the definition of whiteness up again because there are specific definitions of what I'm talking about. White people are being asked to align with their whiteness. And what is not going to go along with that, with this badge that is giving you privilege to walk through the world with immunity, at least in regards to your race. I'm not saying that you didn't experience hardship, but you didn't experience it because you were white. They're asking you to align with your whiteness right now. And I think a lot of you are coming to terms with what that means, because whiteness also doesn't necessarily ask you to identify with it in the same way that like black people identify with being black, for example. And you are coming to terms with what that means, of what it means to be white in America, because they're asking you to be that right now. Race is a construct. Let's be very clear. Whiteness is a construct. And they are now calling in the favor. They're asking you to cash in. with all of the privileges that you've enjoyed by being white and the things that you have avoided because you are white, you are now being called to cash that in. And what they want in payment is for you to co-sign all of this. Fuck, they want you to join them. They want you to be outside. They want you to arm up. They want you to help get these people that are not like you out of your country. Your country. That's what the rhetoric is. And a lot of you don't want to, which is good. I love that. I am happy to see that there are white people who are like, wait, but I don't want to participate in this, which also means that you don't want to participate in whiteness. In fact, it sounds like that a good number of you would like to dismantle it altogether. You don't want to be capital W white if this is the cost. Now, I don't have the answer for the question that I'm about to ask next, but I do want you to think about it. What does that mean to you to no longer be capital W white? To no longer experience capital W whiteness? Who are you outside of your race? Who are you outside of these experiences? And to answer that question, you are going to have to go through your life and comb through and decipher just how many things happened or did not happen to you solely because of the color of your skin. I think that's a big question. I'm not expecting you to figure that out right now immediately, but I do think that that's something that's going to be very meaningful for y'all to work out for the after. Because whatever happens after this, America's going to look very different. Race relations are going to look very different. White people are going to have to answer to each other. I mean, screw having to answer to black and brown people. Y'all are going to have to answer to each other, because I'm seeing in real time a lot of y'all looking around like, I don't understand why y'all are acting like this. To your fellow white people, I don't understand why y'all are acting like this. And I am really sad to tell you that they have felt this way the whole time. And because of your shared whiteness, you didn't see it. So, who are you going to be now that you shed that? Because shedding capital W whiteness is going to mean shedding the privileges that come along with that, and we're seeing that in real time. What are you going to do with this? And that's the question that I want you to ask yourself. I cannot answer it for you. Nobody else can. That's going to be a question that you have to ask yourself and ask your community. Ask the other white people in your life. Ask your family. Ask your loved ones who are not okay with what's going on. Who are you? And what are you willing to do if you go through your life and you spot all of these things that maybe did happen for you or did not happen for you solely because of your race? Who are you going to be without that? And the answer to that is very important. And I hope that finding it is enlightening for you. So good luck, I guess.
Yo, do black people ever be like, yo, I want to be friends with like a white guy? Because that's like different and cool, you know? Do they do that? Do they think like that? Because as a white person, I'd be thinking like, I'm mainly friends with white people. And it's just like, you know, it would be so cool to have like a brother best friend, you know? Right?
Black people don't think about white people at all. And why this is so confusing for white people is that in order to be racist, you have to be obsessed with the thought of somebody being black in order to wake up every day and hate us and hate our existence and try to oppress blackness. It is not a part of our culture to think about white people, to want to aspire towards assimilation to whiteness, to emulate any parts of white culture, or just think about anything y'all got going on. We have way too much going on in our lives, surviving and existing amongst each other and in this country that has been trying to oppress us and subjugate us since inception of us here, than to be thinking about what y'all got going on. And as someone who went to a lot of white schools growing up, and I do have a lot of white friends, I can guarantee you my parents didn't put me in a situation to go to the schools I was in that probably wouldn't have white friends, because we don't think about partnering up with y'all in the same way that you want us to think you're cool. It's like white people want black people to think, oh yeah, you guys are cool. Like, it's weird. It's just like the Young Republican group chat where they were talking about black people, about raping us and killing us and lynching us. It's like every signal chat, like the girl recently saying, I can't wait to bring back segregated schools so we can get the real stuff going on. Black people are not sitting around thinking about hot ways to get rid of white people. We are just trying to live and survive and be in community with each other. You guys need to focus more on yourselves and be in community with each other. That's the problem. Y'all are so individualistic that y'all are going fucking crazy because y'all don't have a community. I've never once in my life said, I think I really may want a white friend. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, little bro. I'm sorry you think we're cool and you want a black brother, you want a black friend. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Don't fetishize us. And that's the problem. Like, the obsession borders fetishization, which borders like mania, which then internally makes y'all feel crazy, and then it comes out as racism. Listen, it's a lot to unpack there with your video, but to answer your question, nah, bruh. We do not think about you ever at all. And when we do, it's only when y'all do some really fucked up weird shit online or in person and we have to respond to it. Other than that,
it might be weird, but I've been making an effort to try to see the world through the eyes of Black Americans. And I wanted to share a couple of things that I've learned so far. I'm John. I make content that tries to model empathy and curiosity for our social differences. Number one on the list, Black people don't hate me. I guess I didn't know necessarily how they would react, knowing all of our history. But yes, they see my white face. Yes, they know history. But one of my friends said one time, if you're cool with us, we're cool with you. And that made a lot of sense to me. Number two, many Black people don't feel comfortable in white spaces. This is something I discovered by posting videos and all the comments. Many people said they may feel, or it may appear that they're comfortable. It may look relaxed, but there's just kind of a vibe that they don't belong there. Maybe it's unfortunately sometimes explicit, but vast majority is probably more like microaggressions that people don't even realize. But there's that. Number three, Black history is American history. They corrected me on this early on, and it's because it's not that we don't want to have a designation for understanding the history and the experiences of Black Americans, but it's more like when we call it Black history, that implies that it doesn't belong to anyone else. Whereas if you really think about it, slavery, for example, that's more like white history than Black history. Number four, I shouldn't focus on all the bad stuff so much. When I'm making videos, try to explore our worlds. I do have a tendency, maybe it's my own curiosity or maybe it's my biases, to focus on slavery and discrimination and segregation. And people have told me, hey, look, we do want people to understand those things better, but we also don't want to be defined by that. So I also need to focus on the amazing and greatness of Black people and their contributions in our country. Number five, they know I have blind spots of my own and they're okay with that. It's more like, what's my attitude about it? Am I aware or trying to be aware? Do I have some humility about it? Am I open to learning? Or do I have a vibe like, I don't even care if I have blind spots. I don't care how they come across to you. That's a big difference. And number six, Black people don't want revenge. They want to live life abundantly. Yes, they want to live in a fair society. They don't want harms and injustice and flawed systems to be papered over or denied. They want accountability, but more than anything, they just want to live and be themselves and have fun and feel like they belong here. Not just on paper, but they feel it. Anyway, I'm learning a lot and it's been a great journey and I'm going to continue and I'll share some more when I learn.
I'm desperately asking white people to understand the gravity of what is happening right now and do something about it, because you all are the only ones that can get us out of this shit. I don't want to hear about how hard it is. I don't want to hear that you don't think it's possible. I don't want to hear how difficult white people are. I don't want to hear about anything other than what you are going to do about it. I don't want to hear none of that, because you can do something about that. You can do something about your community. You can do something about the people that you're in proximity with. I've had very much of an understanding about how difficult MAGA is. I've had very much of an understanding about how difficult it can be, depending on the geographic area that you are in, to do something about what is happening right now. But I need you to be creative, and I need you all as white people to uproot the deep-seated insecurity that you all have that is driving white supremacy, okay? I know it sounds antithetical, but that is literally what this is. I see it in every conversation I have with white people that are waking up and deconstructing what is happening right now. You all are deeply insecure. And I'm not saying that as an attack. I'm saying that as a thing to point out for you all to understand and uproot so you can understand that you have the power and autonomy to do something about the situation we are in right now. Black people will not get us out of this. If that was the case, we would have done it already. We fought our ass off to get us even to this point. No one in this country, no people of color, none of us would have civil rights if it was not for Black people. We have done everything we can do to get us to this point, and we're losing a lot of what we did. Black people cannot get us out of this. People of color cannot get us out of this. It would have happened already. White people have to wake up and do something. And I don't need it to be this big grand gesture in order for it to be something of value. It does not have to be that way. And I think a lot of y'all are getting caught up in that. It is what you are doing right now with the people that you are directly around, with the people you have access to, the people you have influence on. I need you all to fucking wake up. Stop asking me what to do. Stop asking me or telling me that you have no ability to change your own community, that you are just surrounded by MAGA, so there's nothing you can do. Find something else. Be creative, or don't come to me telling me, a Black woman who's fought my ass off to stop this shit for a decade, what you cannot do. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear it. You, as a white person, have more capability of doing than you give yourself credit for. You have to wake up. You have to take out that piece that is telling you that you have no ability to do anything about this, and you're just embarrassed about other white people, and you're lamenting over the harm that you all cause as a collective. I don't get past that shit. Okay? Get past it. If that is what is holding you back from being able to feel like empowered, to have some autonomy to change what is happening right now, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Because you will not be able to withstand the pressure from other people of color that are angry at you until you uproot that part of you that thinks you can't do anything about the anger that they are directing at you. No one is saving us. No one is saving you. You don't get to sit and hope another country comes in and swoops up Trump. You don't get to sit and wait for another country to quote unquote invade us. You don't get to sit and wait for the UN to come in. I know they're investigating us. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care how big the US is. I don't care about how militarized everything is. It does not matter. You cannot sit and tell me, someone that has watched people in my community, in my family, and all around fight to the fucking death to get where we are at right now and what is getting stripped away from us. I don't give a fuck. Okay? If you want to stop seeing people in the street get snatched up and having their car still running as it rolls down the fucking street because I snatched them out of the fucking car. If you want to stop seeing people lose their rights, if you want to stop seeing people be deported to countries they've literally never been to, if you want to stop seeing kids starving because they literally removed aid to feed them, if you want to stop seeing people get brutalized and stop being killed, if you want to stop all of that, you have to figure out what you can do, and you have to figure out how you can do it together. And stop piggybacking off of all these other people, all these other minority groups, especially Black people, to do so. I don't ever want to hear you all talk about joining the Black Panthers. That is not the fucking point. It is not the fucking point. You don't have to go back to the White Panthers or whatever the fuck they were doing. Start your own shit. Nothing is holding you back. That is what Black people have done time and time and time again. That excuse does not fucking work with me. You can do more than you are telling yourself you can. I hold white people to a higher standard than a lot of other people do. And I know I do that because I know you can do it. So I'm not going to sit here and baby you. I'm not going to sit here and act like you all are incapable of understanding how to fucking do what you need to do right now. I know you can. Do you? Could you have gotten this lesson earlier? Yes. Is this something we've been screaming about from the rooftops for years, decades? Yes. Yes, it is. This militarization of law enforcement in this country, absolutely. That is something we've been talking about. But at this point, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Okay? That's in the past. I need you all to get it now. I need you all to get it now. I don't want to hear, we should have listened to you. We should have listened to Black. I don't want to fucking hear it. Tell me what you were going to do. Because we are reliant on you all to do it. We have to. If you want to figure out what to do, look at the needs around you. And if you don't see the needs around you, ask. That's it. That's how you start. Figure out who is already doing something around you. Help them. Don't just stop there, though. Don't just stop there. Don't find an organization and just volunteer for them and think that's enough. It's not. It needs to be a way of life. Your way, the way we get out of this, is to find a way to make resisting this shit, coming together and organizing a way of life. White people have struggled with that. You all have to learn and learn quickly. That means if there's an organization that already exists, go ahead and join them. But also look around you and see what needs are not being met. Look around you and see who's asking for help and do something about it. If you don't know how to do that, look at the newspaper. Look at what's happening in the national news and see how that's trickling down to you. If you see that the Trump administration has stopped aid for children to feed them to your state, figure out if there's a school that you can call and be like, hey, is there some way I can help? Figure out what you need to do. That is what you need to do. And if you are not able to automatically identify what those needs are, ask. And it'd be super great if you started with people of color right now. I guarantee you they can tell you something. And I don't mean ask as in, what should I do? I mean, what is it that you need from me that I can provide? These are the things I can do. And I know y'all can do it because a shit ton of people in Texas are doing it right now. So everywhere else, I need you to fucking do that too, okay? You can do better, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and act like y'all have an incapability of getting it. You can and you should.
Anyways, welcome back. And I so much love what the last lady said. She said, you people know where the problem is, so you people should fix it. You know, a lot of people, a lot of races will literally be calling Black Americans and be like, oh, Black Americans, come to our rescue. Oh, Black Americans, come and save us. While at the end of the day, they don't look at these people that really own the country. When I say they own the country, you know what I simply mean. I'm not talking about people that built the country, because we literally know that the people that have suffered and built this country are the Black Americans who have been there a long time ago, even before segregation and every other slavery and everything kicks in, and it now makes it look like they have literally not contributed anything. They have literally not done anything. And one thing Black History Month has really taught me as a Black African lady is the fact that a lot of things that were hidden are literally being unveiled. And another thing is, this man looked at the whole month. He started this his thing with Iran during the same Black History Month, blah blah blah. So it's just a whole lot. I feel like these people have made American look like they own it, they live it. In fact, nobody should come oppress. Nobody should come say anything. If you want to say anything, it simply means you should be in support. And if you're not in support, then go one side. And that is why I tell you, a lot of immigrants idolize them. That is why a lot of immigrants worship them. That is why a lot of immigrants can look into Black American faces and tell them, you do not have anything. You do not have this. You do not have that. So Black people cannot just sit down and just think of, oh, I just want to be friends with these people. But white people can sit down and think, what are they thinking about me? Because you find out that most of the things they are reacting to generally are minor things that at the end of the day, they're not even supposed. They are things that they should have just mind their business, or they should have just walked past it. But because they already have that illusion of, what are these Black people thinking about me? Okay, by now, as I'm seeing them, they must have said something. By now, as they are sitting there, they are literally talking about me. By now, they've already seen me as a racist. So the only thing I can do is to flame off and show them my racist stuff. And I start acting up. they start displaying. Do you get my point? So it's just a whole lot to deal with. And honestly, this every single clips I roll out, they actually ate it up. They actually said a lot of things that honestly I am supposed to hear. I'm supposed to hear all of that. And if you have more contribution you want to contribute, you can kindly please contribute in the comment section. Why do you think black people can never vibe? Even if they are in the same workspace, even if they have white friends, even if they do every single thing with white people, why do you think they can never fully, completely vibe with this said white people? I just want to hear your own opinion, because one of the lady, which is the first clip that I roll out, already said once a trust is broken, you cannot keep feeding a child for 3 years every single 5 p.m. and then this particular day you started feeding that child 1 p.m. or you decided not to feed that child again forever. And you think whenever you want to reschedule that particular schedule to suit what you are doing, you think the child will literally want to listen. You think the child will literally want to bow down. You think the child will literally want to eat. See, one of the things that we should learn from this clip today is no matter who trusts you, please do not let those trusts to be broken. Do not do things that will make people distrust you. Do not do things that will make people look at you and be like, I regret knowing this person. I shouldn't have even trusted this person at the first place. Because once the trust is broken, to refix it will be very difficult. And that is why even in today's society in America, since they knew they cannot fix it back, they are scared that once power gets to black people's hands, they are going to do the same thing that they actually did to them. That is why they will continue doing every single corruption and everything just to maintain that profile of the whiteness. But anyways, maybe I'm talking too much, maybe I'm rambling too much. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in at this episode. And for disclaimers, this is just for educational purpose, not to come here ruffle on anyone's shoulder or make anyone feel uncomfortable. Okay, and I want to say a very thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing my videos, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I really do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best, and thank you so much for staying sticking with me to the end of this video. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I'd like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys, I love you guys. Mwah.